Are we recording?
Weekends are not for showers.
Spitting on the ones and twos.
Wait, are we gonna get copyright infringement for that?
Welcome to Hey Sister, Soul Sister.
We're really relying on our editors to do a good job.
Welcome to Hey Sister, Soul Sister. I am Erica.
And I'm Leia. Hi.
And I forgot what I was gonna say. My dogs are crying in the background. You guys may hear a dog crying in the background, or my lawnmower and my light just kind of went crazy. Not sure. Okay, my dogs were quiet, and as soon as I hit record, they're like crying and
They're
whatnot.
podcast stars too.
They're podcast stars too. So my friend is over. I hired my friend to do my lawn, and they know my
Yes.
friend and they like him, and they want to go out and play with him. But he has like the side door open to get like stuff
Yeah.
out. So they'll run out. So it was like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna just
can
keep
play
him
later,
inside. Yeah,
kids.
yeah. So I hired my friend to do my yard. He's gonna be my regular yard work guy. Right now, he's doing like literally my grass is like up to like my hips right now. It hasn't been mowed. Yeah, no one's touched that grass since February because I
That
never
is-
did.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I never did the yard work, like I would kind of help, but not really, but that's just like not my thing, And,
I'm all about paying someone else.
yeah. Yeah,
to do
and
the things
so-
that I don't want to do.
My ex, he used to love doing yard work, so like when that was, he literally did it like the week we broke up, that was the last thing. And so it's been growing, it's been brewing, and I hadn't had the willpower to like message people, and finally like I messaged my friend, and it took a few weeks for him to be open because he does this on the side. He has a full-time job, he has a family, so it's kind of like he's like, okay, I could go this weekend. I'm like, okay, cool, because it was getting really tall and we had some rain, and I was like, it's gonna get taller, and oh my god, I need it. Like if he wasn't gonna come today, I was going to go do it. I was gonna go call my dad and be like, can you just help me? And by help me, saying just my dad do it
for
and me just drink some wine or something like that.
I have a little bit of a rewind.
Oh, I have a rewind too.
Oh,
Ooh.
well, if you have listened to our last episode
Mhm.
with Rini and cycle syncing to your flow,
Mhm.
I've been paying attention this week because that's what she recommended.
Yeah.
I had asked her a question of like, how do we find out what phase in our cycle we're in?
Mhm.
And I had thought she was going to say, count the days from your first period. And
Do
this
the
is where-
chart.
no.
Yeah.
So she did say, just notice how you're
Mhm.
feeling, how it's your like physical, brain, like
Mm-hmm.
emotions, and then that'll kind of lead you to where you are.
Mhm.
And I'm feeling it, guys. Oh my gosh, like I'm so fatigued, and it's been
Mhm.
like this is the third day.
Mhm.
So I know my period's coming. So I'm in like the phase of autumn, and then I'm transitioning into winter with my period. And I'm really feeling it. I'm very tired, physically tired. My brain feels no, well, I wouldn't say my brain feels good either. I've been so foggy this week. Like
yeah.
I'm having trouble like coming up with words, and just like my
Mhm.
brain mouth connection has been so off. Like it just doesn't feel as sharp.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I'm physically tired.
Mhm.
I went to do my dissertation yesterday and just get some writing done, and it was so hard. And I think what was making it hard was I was telling myself a lot of shoulds, like
Mhm.
I should be able to push through this. Why is this so hard? I was just all
Yeah.
about judging myself. The writer's block was so real.
Mhm.
And so and there was also this part of me, now that I have this new knowledge, right,
Mhm.
to just like lean in, like, okay, just lean into it, give yourself a lot of grace, do what you can, go freaking slow, which
Yeah.
is not what I'm used to doing. Is like I like to be efficient, And so, but now that I know this little bit of information from our interview with Rini, like I was in that awareness too, like, okay, just take your time. Like, it's all right. Take
Mm-hmm.
a lot of breaks. It's okay. Like,
Yeah.
breathe and don't force your brain to work because it's not going to right now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
So I did what I could. And then I went and did some hot Pilates and I felt okay.
Yeah.
I felt
Maybe,
okay.
maybe you just needed to just rest and no hot Pilates.
I just needed. Well, I definitely slept in today because
That's
that was
good.
one of the things that
Mhm.
I definitely need is like rest.
Yeah.
So I didn't do
Yeah.
much when I got home, and I went to bed, and I literally just woke up like an hour ago. Which usually on a Sunday before podcasting, I'd be like 2 workouts in already and be like amped on on pre-workout, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's go do this thing. But
Yeah.
today I'm really physically tired. So if I
Yeah.
start like not coming up with words and sentences, that is why.
That
But
is
it's
all
nice
good
to know.
It's good
nice
to know
to know.
yeah, we're doing a double because I'm going to be out of town next weekend. So
Yes.
we'll see how next week episode goes.
Yeah, I might be completely loopy by then.
Completely loopy. Hey, we're here for it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
But that's the thing. Like
yeah.
I feel like energetically, well, or even just like I want to have the fun. Like I'm,
you want to have the fun. Yeah.
I'm awake. That's a plus.
Sure.
I'm awake, guys.
So what you're saying is you're willing to have the fun at your own expense.
Yeah, well, after this, I'm not doing shit. Like I am going to be laying on the couch. And I mean, and I do have to pack. I am traveling this week to Virginia. So I got to do some packing, some laundry, getting organized. Because, I think for all my trips, I like to get a little organized. And especially when I am, now that I have a whole bunch of supplements to take.
Yeah.
That has to get organized. And I like to continue my movement out, like when I'm on vacation or even working on the East Coast. Just because it just helps with my mental health, my emotional health. Even if I'm really tired, I'll just be like, no. But if I just something light, a little yoga, bringing my yoga bag or my yoga. See, I'm doing it right now. I can't think.
My yoga bag,
yoga mat, and just like have it in my room for the option to get a little bit of movement in. And I think that's something that I'm discovering more and more is. Again, like taking care of me is the priority. Like if I'm trying to be a good partner, a good friend, or a good leader, it comes with me first. And so like I'm really particular now about how I set up myself to be successful. And it all starts with like, what do I need? What do I need to feel good? Which it's a constant learning. Because you got to pay attention, and I don't. And sometimes when I don't pay attention, that's when I feel like shit. So here I am. And try to take it slow today and get things done in the timeline that it's meant to.
Right now I'm not taking the Rini advice because I'm everywhere. So mine's not like hormonal. Mine's
Yours
just like
is
I'm in the middle of a fucking breakup.
For you, it's just grounding.
Yeah,
like
that's what I got my cards read. That's what the universe keeps telling me, like, you need to fucking ground. That's why my lawn's getting mowed, so I could go outside and put my feet on the ground and not accidentally step on dog poop while I'm out there. But my rewind topic was just just having Rini on last week. Like, I think I loved her energy. I listened back to the podcast and, and just remembering how I felt during that interview and so empowered and so like, just like, oh my God, it's like our I like had a burp right there, even though I didn't eat. But it was just so like amazing to be in her presence because her energy is just so like fun and energetic and confident. I think that's the word that I'm looking for. There's this confidence about her, and her confidence just spills over to the people around her. And I think just really embodying our menstrual cycle and our cycles and our womanhood, that we start building that confidence, because we've been really shamed to be women. And even as a woman that wants different goals, that's not the status quo, we continue to be shamed and hurt, and so, and I'm in that hurt period because of the things that I want that are outside of the status quo. And so there, you could hold a lot of hatred or resentment towards people that think that way, or you can dive into the people that are more in like Rainy's energy and that vibration, and dive into it, not like just the people, but into yourself, and be okay with that, and make that transition. So I'm so happy we had her on. I can't wait till we have her on again with more like specific topics, because we were very general, and as we were talking to her, we found out like different sides of her that we could bring her on for, and I think all of them would be beneficial for us. So I'm really excited to see her back on the show and just dive into more of her trainings, especially like on YouTube. She has a lot of stuff, and I haven't even began diving into the stuff yet. So that's my rewind topic.
And guys, if you have questions that you want to ask Rini, we're gonna have the second episode. We would love to ask her your questions. So reach out, DM us, and we'll relay that and see how it goes. I'm sure she'd love to answer your questions.
And share the episode. Unfortunately, since we don't have 500 subscribers on YouTube, I couldn't tag her. And I was like, bullshit. I was like, now, maybe I'll ask her to repost, like do like a post and link it. But I just think the episode was so good, and it's one of our highest viewing episodes on YouTube. I haven't listened to, but guys, just share. I know I'm going to be looking today to like just do more promo stuff on social media, because I haven't really done that. Hello, just one person doing the social media, and like, you know where I've been. So just please share. Help us get to 500 subscribers on YouTube so I can freaking tag people. I hate that you have to have like a number, but whatever, that is what it is. So that's the rewind topic. There are some hot topics in celebrity news, some Cheese McCorner stuff. One I have not been keeping up with, and it's like in my news feed. So I don't know, Leia, if you've seen any of it or know of it. So there's the Johnny Depp. There's like a Johnny Depp trial. I have no idea what's going on. It keeps coming up in my feed. I feel bad because I literally don't know, and I was like, I see it and I just kind of bypass it, and I don't think I don't think I'm in a state of mind to like absorb it. But if you know anything, let me know.
I know a little bit. This is really interesting because the trial, and I don't know why the trial is happening here, but it's in Fairfax, Virginia, and it's one of the places I visit for work. Yeah, I know exactly where this place, like where they're having this this court trial, this court. Lord,
where they're having this court order in the court.
Oh my God, this is gonna be a shit show if I can't get these words out. Where they're having this trial. So apparently, they've been waiting to have this for a while because obviously they got divorced a while ago. But it's a defamation suit against Amber Heard from. I guess from Johnny Depp and from like just everything that's happened in their marriage, and some shit has come out. I honestly, and this is not my brain. It just stopped. Honestly, let me just start over here. Honestly, I have only seen like little bits and clips from it. So I don't know the whole trial, but apparently it's riveting. I know people who are just like glued to these live feeds because like things just kind of have come out, and apparently the latest clip that I saw was like Amber Heard had thrown something like glass or breakable, and obviously it broke, and like one of his fingers was severed, like at the very top of the finger, and like you could see bone. And so like he didn't know at the time, he was like, he didn't feel the pain right away, and then he just started to realize where's this dripping coming from. And then he was like, oh my god, my finger is, or like the top of my finger is gone. So I don't know, so that was like insane. They sound like they had a volatile marriage.
So she was somewhat abusive is the last thing I heard. That she was the one that was abusive towards him. Well, because like I said, like I keep seeing like stuff from like kind of the magazine Instagram accounts I follow, like Access Hollywood and people. But then I saw some TikTok where this guy's like watching the Johnny Depp trial at work, and they're like eating popcorn or something, and I just like keep seeing like those types of videos. But like I have nothing, like no contents, like against it. Like I was like, I don't understand what's going, because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't even know there was going to be a trial. I know I knew they had a very rocky relationship. I know it got abusive. But I never looked into it, and all of a sudden it's like everywhere, and I was like, what's going on? Like, what? And then like I don't want to get into, I personally don't want to get into it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I think for me too, I'm just not I'm not in a space to allow that into my energy right now. Yeah. Like it looks, and people are real entertained by this. Like it is. Yeah. And it's live streamed. It's on all day. Yeah. I just can't with I know that's gonna it's not gonna be feel good content. So
I
haven't been gravitated towards it.
Yeah. I'm focusing on feel good. But speaking of something that's not so feel good, is Ali Wong is getting a divorce from her husband. I'm sad about that, because
I'm sad about it too.
Because it just seemed like they were like, he like supported her so much, and she even had her last special where she joked about wanting to have like an open relationship, but then like saying that she like loved him at the end. So you never know until you're like in it.
You're in it,
and
and they met relatively young-ish. Like I think he was still in Harvard Business School.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, sometimes people change and they grow apart, and their priorities change. And here we are. I'm sad about Ali Wong and her husband. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. It sounds amicable. It's definitely not a Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation.
It's the opposite.
So it sounds amicable.
Yeah. So those are the hot topics I saw. I'm sure there's many more, but I haven't really been diving into a lot of celebrity news lately. I'm just back at work. I'm just trying to figure out life. My next stage of life, kind of shedding from this breakup, more releasing things every day, and I'm just a roller coaster of emotions. So
I will have to say though, like because I obviously follow you on the socials and you talk about it here, I think you're sharing what you want to share about this is really helpful for a lot of people. I think it's not uncommon, like it's a very kind of a universal experience. Everyone has had some sort of breakup, and I think hearing your experience is healing for other people too. So yeah.
But now we can get into our struggles and high vibes.
Oh lordy,
I have a struggle too.
Same. I'm gonna go first because mine's a petty one.
Mine's a petty one too. Mine has something to do with a relationship. This is totally materialistic.
Well, because guys, if you've been listening to us for a while, sometimes our strengths and high vibes, like they're very our strengths.
Our strengths.
God, This is my struggle right now. So anyway, you're living it, you're seeing it. This is where it is. Oh my goodness. So if you've been listening to us for a while, our struggles and our high vibes sometimes, or a lot of the time, they have some sort of like mindset, learning, healing, energetics around it. Today's not the day.
Today's not the day. It's not a day. Not a day. Not for the struggles, at least.
Not for the struggles, at least. Yep. So my struggles, guys. I upgraded my phone over the holidays, which is great. And then, you have to ship it back, all the things. Well, my old phone got shipped back to me, and I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know I had to send it directly to UPS. I went through the post office. So it got kicked back to me, and so I had to go call AT&T, get it resent. So I did that, and then I got a text message from AT&T, and they were like, oh, in order to I activate your trade-in like credits or whatever, because there's some sort of deal that comes with it. You have to upgrade your plan. And I do remember that. I remember that when, I had the discussion with the Apple guy about it. So I was like, okay, cool. So let me just call them. It was the most ridiculous conversation I've ever had with a person. Probably ever. Like, it was. So she was explaining that I had to upgrade. Got it. That's the reason why I called. Done.
That's why I'm here.
So she was explaining that the plan that I would have, or that's available, the new one, would bump up my bill like $20. Okay, fine. No big deal. I've had my plan forever. Probably time to
upgrade,
be a big kid and go into like the 5G options or whatever. So I was already in for upgrading the plan. And then she was like, but if you wanted to lower your bill, which I thank you, I appreciate you looking at this, you can do this plan. I can get you $50 off an iPhone 12, and then you just have to add a plan or add a line to your account.
You have that.
I have that. So I have both my parents and my dad's iPad on my phone plan. So that's 4 lines. This lady kept saying, if you add a line, then you can get like $5 off your plan. And I was like, I'm not understanding where the benefit of this is for me.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, you just have to add a line. I was like, but why would I do that? And she was like, well, and then she would go back to the beginning and break down the prices. Like, well, this one is only $40 more from your bill, and this one's only $35 off your bill. And I'm like, no, I understand that. Thank you. I get it. I understand that. But why would I want another line? And she was like, because you never know when you're going to need another phone. I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, she's really trying to convince me to get a 5th line on my phone for $5 off this bill. I swear, Erica, this conversation lasted like 30-40 minutes. I was like, no, hold on.
No.
I am in for an upgrade of my plan. I just not understanding why a 5th line is necessary.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, it's not. It's not. But if you want, but let me tell you this plan. And then she'd go back to the beginning. This lasted for literally 30-45 minutes. I was like this close.
And then I was like, nice, you know what? To stop it.
Well, no, I wanted to understand, because in the beginning I was like, do I need to have this line?
Yeah.
Like, is this part of the thing that I have to do? You know what I mean? Like, and she couldn't get to it. It literally took 30 minutes, 45 minutes to the end to get to like, no, you do not need this line. You can pick another plan or like whatever. I'm like, oh, why didn't you just say that the first time I asked you? Why did you try to convince me of like this whole other thing?
Well, because they're supposed to upsell you. That's why.
I was like, it's for a fucking other line. And that's a waste of time. Why am I? And $50 off an iPhone 12.
No.
Come on. Like, no, that's not going to be a thing.
Yeah, because you're not really getting $5 off. You're paying for another iPhone at the same time. So you got the bill of that.
What the fuck? It was literally,
that's so
and
funny.
of course, and this happened when I'm going through my brain fog days. So, like, I was also kind of questioning myself, like, am I actually understanding her? Like, am I understanding what she's saying? So
but she didn't know what she was saying. She didn't understand what she was saying.
So I was so confused.
Yeah.
I was like, that was a waste of fucking time. One. And two, like, I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated right now.
Yeah. So.
But that is.
Yeah.
That's my struggle for the week.
Yeah, that's your struggle. Well, my struggle is, it's a one overarching struggle. But there's like multiple struggles within that struggle. So I started doing like the meal prep kits because I was like, oh, like I get 3 meals. And it's actually technically 6 because it's like for 2 people, and I could like cook it at night and have it for lunch, the next day. So I was looking for options that had like less carbs because like HelloFresh and like Blue Apron could be really heavy. And I actually like their flavor and stuff like that, but and I like the flavor of their food, but it just was like, oh, do I want it that heavy? Because I just want it a little bit lighter, because I usually like eat heavier earlier in the day as opposed to like the end of the day. So I went with Green Chef because they had like paleo options. I was like, okay, and it looked good and it felt like healthy. But let me just tell you, the food does not taste good. It's not that good. And I don't know if it's like me not knowing how to cook it or like I just need to add more salt because their recommendation of salt is like nothing. And it's just like so bland. It's not like horrible. It's bland. I was like, God, like, I'm sorry, white people, but this shit is just too bland for me. Like, I was like, I just need like Mexican flavors or like I just need flavors, like just more flavor to the food. It's so bland. And like, so that's like my first complaint is like the food is really bland. And unfortunately I'm stuck with them for like another week because I got because my second complaint was you have to order your boxes almost like 2 weeks in advance. So like, for example, you have to confirm. So today's Sunday. I have to confirm today for not tomorrow, Monday, but for the following Monday. So like, I think last weekend when I confirmed my box, I was only like a few meals in and I was probably like, oh, it's probably how I cook it. I didn't put enough salt. But then the second week again came and I was like, dude, I don't like this. I don't like their meals. Like, they're not like, I'm eating them because I paid for them, but it's like, they're not like anything special, And so, I tried to call to cancel the box because I was like, oh, I had something last minute and I had like, this was like Thursday, Friday. Like I was like, I had something last minute and I'm not going to be in town because I'm not cooking them because that's the last part of the struggle, but I'll get to that later. So I was like trying to get them to cancel my box. They didn't cancel it. Luckily I was able to get some sort of money back because I like was persistent. I was like, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to leave town, which is true. But which is true. I'm going to leave town, but more towards the end of the week, but I'm not cooking the meals fast enough. And so they did give me money back. And then I just kind of started canceling for the future weeks until I get my reimbursement. Then I'll completely cancel my plan. So I just kind of like whatever comes up, I just like hit skip that week. But lastly, one of the things I hate about these meal kit things, and this is like for HelloFresh too, like, and I think I've never done Blue Apron, so I don't know. I think I did Blue Apron once because somebody gave me a box, but you have to do a bunch of shit and use a bunch of dishes. Like, you gotta zest here, you gotta use a pan, you gotta use something to cook in the oven, you gotta, like, there's so much utensils involved. Like, I look at my, like, sink and it's full of dishes after I'm cooking, and I was like, usually when I cook a meal, like, that looks complicated at home, I don't use this many, like, like things, like can you just keep it basic? Like literally have to use my whole kitchen to cook this like tiny flavorless meal. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like I'm spending more time washing dishes than actually enjoying the meal. So it's like not worth it. It's not worth it. So don't do Green Chef. I don't like them. HelloFresh actually can have good meals. But at the same time, it's like you're zesting every 2 seconds. You're like, all you do is fucking zest. And I was like, why do we need a zest? Like, what is the purpose of constantly zesting? Never in my life have I zested anything, nor seen my parents zest. And meals are good. But that's my struggle, Green Chef. And especially
you need to make t-shirts that say what's the why fucking zest, why zest, why all the zesting, so
yeah funny. I still, if you guys could answer my question on that one.
I mean, yeah. Very true. I did one meal prep type of thing. I can't remember which one it was. I did not enjoy because I didn't like the process of the prep. Yeah. There's just so much prep.
There's so much prep, and it's like 20-30 minutes, so easy. And I was not. It's not. It's not
20-30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I wasn't a fan. It was definitely more effort than I was willing to give.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, as I was hearing you talk, was it fucking infuriated about for you. If I'm fucking going to eat something, it better fucking be good.
Yeah.
Like I can't like if there's anything that's gonna boil, and this is the Taurus in me. We like indulgence. We like things to be delicious, and like we're so food driven. I want that in all of my meals. That is what I want. So when I cook, it tastes good, and it tastes good and healthy. I can do all the things. It doesn't need a whole kitchen.
Yeah, you don't need a whole
It doesn't
kitchen.
need 50 minutes of prep, and it doesn't need to cook for 2 hours. It can be a delicious meal that's simple, and it tastes good, and it serves you. But what drives me fucking batshit crazy is when I'm paying some money for something that should make it easier, and it makes it harder, and the food doesn't taste good. That is I can't. It would have been enough. That would have been enough to make me cry at the right moment in my cycle. 100%.
Maybe that's why I'm crying, not because of the breakup. Is because I'm using Green Chef.
Sorry, Green Chef.
Sorry.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah, I'm not I have been very disappointed by their food selection, and I keep trying, and I was like, no.
I like that you're persistent.
Yeah, I was like, no, this is it. I mean, I only gave it 2 weeks, but I already had a third box coming.
But I think right? Yeah. I think what you like, and especially 2 weeks, that's plenty of time to decide if the food is going to be good.
So now it's like, okay, what do I want for my meals, and just cook 2 to 3 meals a week that I like and need them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But
there you go.
For me, just less time in the kitchen. Literally, I made a sandwich past 2 nights in a row. Ooh, I need to plug in my laptop. But
pause.
Anyways, we don't know where we're at. My computer almost died. We had to come back, but
I think we were about to get into high vibes.
We were, but there was a thought.
There was a thought about food.
The thought about food, just Green Chef sucks. Don't get it. There wasn't, I was saying I literally made sandwiches instead of cooking Green Chef because the sandwich process
wasn't it so delicious?
Much quicker. Yes, and I love sandwiches. Sandwiches. So
I do have to send you.
That's all I'm gonna eat, sandwiches.
Oh man, I don't know if I can find it. I saw the most mouth-watering sandwich recipe on Reels, and I thought of you, and I didn't. I don't think I hit save or whatever. It looked so good. I was like, oh, this is up.
Just type in sandwich and see what comes
Reels.
up. Yeah, just do a search sandwich and see what comes up. Yeah. You may find it, you may not, but you may find it. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Okay. High vibe time. Now
High
that I
vibe.
ripped Green
Hi.
Chef the new one, let's do some high vibes.
High vibe. Well, my high vibes. It hasn't actually happened yet. It's tomorrow. I am traveling to Virginia, to South Virginia this time because I took on that region. So I am really looking forward to this because I know I'm there for work, but I trust myself to know that I am going to have a ton of fun no matter what. And I booked a room on the beach.
Ooh.
And it is, I know, I'm so excited.
Oh my God, you're gonna take pictures.
I know, right? Like, because I like maybe doing an early morning because, I'll probably likely be on my period while I'm out there, which means my next trips out there is going to align with a different part of my cycle, so I'm not like super tired, but like how vibey, right? Like to walk on the beach like in the morning instead of like having like my usual workout maybe. But I'm really excited because I'm going to see my cousins that I haven't seen in forever because they live in the area. So we are doing a dinner tomorrow and they're ordering in. I don't know what they're ordering, but last time I had Thanksgiving over there, so good. Like my cousins don't really they don't cook, but they can order in.
Hey, as long as you know where to get the good food, that's all that matters.
A+ ordering for them.
A+ for ordering.
Yes. So I'm excited. I don't know. And actually I've never spent this long of a time in that area. So I'm just excited to kind of experience. I'm like really close to the Virginia Beach boardwalk, which is going to be so cool. Like just to maybe walk up and down it and just check the vibe out. Yeah. I know that was a short high vibe because it hasn't happened yet, but I'm really looking forward to this trip.
Well, you're looking forward to it. I mean, I'm looking forward to my trip. But nothing has happened yet. I don't have anything planned. It's just happening. The only thing I have planned is that I am working on Friday because I still have to work. But working remotely, I think this whole mix between office and remote is a little bit of a high vibe. So my high vibe is it kind of seems like a low vibe, but it's a high vibe.
Yes.
So a lot of it has to do with just releasing shame off the things that I'm feeling. So I have been an angry ass motherfucking bitch lately, to the point where I have told certain people, and I'm going to be very honest, like, I don't even know if I want you to have a good life. That sounds really bad, right? As a person that comes on here and is like, let's empower people, let's do this. Sometimes when people make you really mad and really hurt you, you say things like that. And it's okay because there's this misconception that, like, if you're into spirituality, you're into this, that you're just this whole positive being and you don't have human emotions. Well, fuck that. You have human emotions. As long as you're not doing things to actually really, really hurt people. Because even in my process of saying, I don't want you to have a good life, I said, I know I shouldn't be saying this, but right now this is what I'm feeling. Knowing that it was just the feeling in the moment and I was just releasing anger. And not the best thing, but it's something that I said based off of anger. And, and like, I was so shameful of that because I'm like, that's right. I am a person that does all these things, but now I'm acting this way. And I was like, wait, I'm in this, like, I'm human, and I'm in this like period of life where I am healing, I'm growing. I wouldn't even say I'm growing. I'm rebirthing myself. I'm transforming. I'm becoming a new person. And with that comes a lot of like emotion and trauma that is coming up to the surface for me to heal, And I'm going to have these moments where I am just like batshit full of anger and hatred. As long as I'm not like doing things to physically hurt people or doing things that are, criminal stuff, like bashing windows. What am I thinking? Like bashing windows, stealing money, those things. It's okay to have like these thoughts. And I go back to like the show Insecure, right? Where Issa runs into her ex and then in her imagination, she like what does she do? Like slam dunks a baby and like drop kicks like the girlfriend and like does all this like crazy shit. And that's like what's going on in my head, but I'm not actually like really doing that stuff. And learning to be okay with that and like releasing the shame and understanding that that's just part of the healing process, especially when you have a lot of anger in you. so yeah,
well,
like
there is a thing about, toxic positivity.
yeah,
Like where you're just good vibes only. And that's something I used to say without really knowing what the impact is. It's not good vibes only. We're
feel all the feelings.
Yes, we are complex human beings that can have emotions and deep emotions, and we're learning how to deal with them. Because like, for you, Erica, like you're experiencing a level of anger and resentment that you've never experienced before. This is some deep shit. You're learning how to deal with it. And yes, like are you gonna nail it?
No.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say sure. And are you not gonna nail it? Sure. Like you're going to be all over the map. And I think for us, when we look at ourselves, allowing us to feel the fucking things, because it's the suppression of those things that fucks with us, that really messes with our emotional and our physical and mental well-being. It's the suppression. Like you can't deny and like try to like soften the anger, because it's there. It's gonna come out. And the suppression may be the thing that has you bash a window. It's the expression that's going to allow you to release it. And I think it took me literally most of my life to like get to the point to even notice that, to acknowledge it and to accept it, and like realize we are not superhuman. We are actually human. We are not robots. We feel, we have emotions, and it's honoring those emotions means honoring ourselves. And I know you're not, you're intent. Like I know you're in it. You're in it.
Intense moments.
Yeah, you're in it. And like, I mean, I know like when you're outside of this, when you're past this, you're going to have those moments where it's like, okay, well, I handled that well, or I handled it not as great as I thought I should, I could have. And that's okay. Like, this is just where you're at. And like, it doesn't make you a bad person. It just makes you a freaking human that's going through a lot.
Yeah.
And for all of us out there, we're going through things no matter what. No matter what. Whether like it's a breakup or, a trauma or like a death of a loved one.
Post-COVID world.
Stress. Yeah. Like stress from work or overwork or all the things that kind of come at us. We got to know that we literally can create from ourselves. And I think that's why you're getting the message of ground into you, because all of the things around us are going to happen no matter what. Like those are things, like it is life. But for us, if we strengthen ourselves, honor ourselves, we're more and more equipped to hold the space for everything that happens. And it has no correlation to our validity, our worth, or our enoughness. It's all like separate, and it can get very easy to get all of that mixed in.
Yeah, it's definitely all about the grounding. There's so much that's the messages I keep hearing, and like as I'm looking at like what I'm focusing on right now is just like learning to just truly like love me. So like I'm an empath first off, so empaths have a hard time like grounding themselves, because we feel others' energies and when we absorb, and so but we also give off a lot of energy and want other people to feel our energy, and so we don't go within a lot. What was the other thing? And I'm a person that kind of I give so little. I give a lot and ask for very little, and so kind of understanding like my worthiness around that. Like, why am I giving up so much? And, just expecting those around me to not give as much in return. Where does that come from? I know I have to go deeper and deal with like worthiness wounds, or like places where I felt like I had to kind of put up a front to be accepted, or there's just so much stuff. There's so much deeper stuff that's kind of coming up to the surface that like are barely kind of showing their faces to me because of this breakup. I'm like starting to see these things that I need to work on me for first before I move on to like my next level of life, or am working on them as I'm moving on to the next level of life. I don't think I need to like completely heal from it to move on, because there's going to be some other stuff, but at least start acknowledging and kind of making those steps forward. So there's a lot, but I think that first step for me to like move to the next phase was like just not be ashamed of my anger, understand that my feelings are valid, understand that like, some of the things I'm doing may not be the best things, but I'm not but at least I reflect back on them and go like, oh, was that right? And I'm not actually doing things that are truly hurting people to this level of extent that can go if I suppress these feelings. And it's also learning how to manage my anger because of these levels of angers that I have. So it's just like a cycle.
Yeah.
And to like, I'm not punching people in the face. I'm not I'm not fighting.
Yeah, you're not like.
But even if you get to that level,
on social media.
I'm not fighting on social media. I'm not calling people out. And there's so much I could do, and there's so much 100%. I could say that I'm not saying that I'm keeping. To myself, or until further notice. We'll see. Who knows? I might get there. But right now it's like, stuff is private, and this is just part of my journey. But I want to share as much as I can because we've all been there, and I think it's important. And especially when I don't know, like I never really got my heart broken when I was younger, because I haven't. Like, this was the only relationship I really have been in, like before that, like I dated a few guys, or I would be at like parties and make out with guys, or had like friends with benefits. So I never actually was in like a real relationship until I met my previous partner. And he's like the only person that I was actually in a relationship with. So I've never experienced this level of like heartache, but it's required for me, and it's just like, it's the best thing. I know, like in my head, I know that it's like the best thing for me, but it just, you still have to go through those growing pains. Yeah, because growth is messy. Growth is so messy.
It is messy.
So messy. So that's our show for today. Leia and I are not done recording. We're gonna take a break and then come back.
Yes,
ma'am. But we love you guys. Remember to share the show. Help us grow. We totally love you, and talk to you guys next week. Bye.